All right. Hello, everybody. Hello. Good morning, good afternoon, good night. Wherever you happen to be on this planet. What a time to be alive. I haven't said that in a while. I haven't filmed early enough to say such a thing in a while.
Yeah.
It's a whole different vibe to it. You know, you jump in here, everything's fresh. So fresh, so clean. Last night I was watching this Model S Plaid delivery event. Mm-hmm. Pretending it was myself. I was pretending I was getting the Model S Plaid delivered.
Just rubbing your hands.
Oh, you mean this? That's the thing that drives Kirk nuts? Yeah, I was doing that right there, yeah.
Licking your lips.
Like, no, but if you had a slap to it, I think it gets real weird, right?
Yeah.
Anyway, thanks to everybody who's joining this morning. I'm going to keep a little bit of an eye on everybody in the chat over there. Uh-huh. Believe it or not, Will. They let me know everything's going smooth. Uh-huh. I know you've been in there with a wrench on an occasion or two.
Yeah, I like to have fun.
Take it easy with a wrench, though.
Talk with the fans.
My goodness gracious.
It's a good time.
Yeah, so they had this event. It was late last night. Later than you told me, actually. It was 1 hour later than you told me. You must have had your PDT, EST, whatever, time zones.
Sure.
It was 8:15 over there in Fremont, California, which was 11:15, right, for me?
Uh-huh.
So.
Yeah, it was a late one.
Because I told the kids, I'm like, yeah, you can watch the event because they started getting the cars now. Mm-hmm. And, of course, they know about the Taycan, and they're like, let's see what Tesla's got going on with this Plaid model. So they wanted to stay up for it, but then next thing you know, it's 11:15, and I'm like, I'm getting in trouble with the mom, you know what I mean? Uh-huh. Their mom. It's like, what are these kids
with
doing?
With your mom?
And mine. She calls me up. What are you doing with those grandchildren? She goes, what are you going?
Like, what are you doing?
All the moms were mad at me.
Yeah.
That out there. Probably even yours, actually.
Uh-huh.
She's probably like, what's he doing with those children up that late?
Yeah, she came knocking on your door.
Anyway, the question is, was it worth it? You know, what did we experience in the event? I know Elon, he flew in there late. They put it together. He had the custom leather jacket made up with the Plaid logo on the back. Did you watch the event?
I did, yeah.
Yeah.
I fell asleep, though.
Hey!
So I watched it in the morning.
So I guess the lateness got to you as well.
Yeah. I'm an old man.
Well, you don't need to tell us.
Yeah.
So that was the funniest part when he gets into when he shows up and then he's just flying down a little track there.
Yeah, that was fun.
And he just blasted off 0 to 60 in under 2 seconds is the claim. Well, it's proven. They've done it. They've achieved it. They've built it. It's hard. I mean, you can't get a vehicle at that weight going much faster than that at this point, which is the whole reason that Roadster has to have the SpaceX package, because we're hitting this like critical. We're bumping into physics here, Will.
Yeah, that's the hardest thing to break, right?
The hardest thing to bump into? Physics? Yeah. Damn.
That whole thing?
Damn, that's tough to bump into. Just want to give a quick shout out here. We got a super chat courtesy of Nick. Thank you so much, Nick, for the positive words as well.
Look how happy he is.
Yeah, when he jumped out and his belly popped out, I'm like, you know what?
Belly.
I'm like, that's genuine right there. You see? I mean, I guess it's not technically his belly, but my kids also enjoyed that moment. They said, like, that's legit excitement right there.
Yeah.
He's happy with the vehicle. Look, I know how this goes. It's so hard when people have expectations set up. People were like, is there going to be anything special? Is there going to be a surprise? Are they going to just like what is a delivery event, right? You're not announcing a product. So you got to sort of set your expectations. At least that's what I did. I was like, okay, we're just going to get a walk around, a little sales pitch. If you haven't bought this car yet, then maybe you want to purchase it, I guess. I don't know. But we did get a personalized sales pitch from Elon, and that was good enough for me, because you saw how he was a little bit giddy about it. He said, this is the most fun you're going to get on 4 wheels, or just in general, in life, if you buy this product. Uh-huh. It's the most fun you're going to buy. You're going to hit the accelerator. It's going to be ridiculous. But beyond that, beyond the performance, I mean, most of the event they spent on the interior. And again, it wasn't surprises, right? We knew that there was going to be a hefty gaming PC built into it. Uh-huh. And they went ahead during the presentation and said it's going to be as powerful as a PlayStation 5. And they showcased some live gameplay of Cyberpunk playing in the car. Although you didn't see the person themselves playing. I guess they were in shadow. One of the things about the production, oh, there they are. You see, I see an arm. One of the things about these Tesla event productions is they feel kind of startup-y. They feel, I mean, like there's Apple on one end of the spectrum, there's Tesla on the other. Like when the window shattered and just Elon's own
It's like
kind of spontaneous way of being.
Can you move the slides? The next slide?
Exactly.
It's fun. It's dynamic.
There is something fun about it on the opposite end of the spectrum where it feels more unpredictable. You're like, man, I don't know. Are they ready for this? It feels like he just rolled in. He got there.
Yes.
Like it's just barely made it on time kind of thing. They slapped the leather jacket on him. They're like, all right, go. You know, another shout out to Adrian. Thanks for the super chat as well. So what else did they talk about? Okay, so the interior gaming PC, you have the yoke is a real thing. The yoke is actually happening. And they talked about how the whole point with the yoke is to improve the experience for self-driving modes. You don't have the top part of the steering wheel in the way. And I've experienced this in a lot of cars where the way things are lined up, where you want to have the steering wheel, it sort of blocks that display in front of you.
Exactly, yeah. I hate that.
It's the worst. You're like, how do I position this so I can see through the thing properly and still have a comfortable driving position? So the yoke sort of solves that. Now, I'm sure it's got to be some kind of downside when it comes to, I don't know, like just we're so used to having a wheel there. And certain maneuvers, I'm sure that there's going to be some people that are still going to want to opt for the steering wheel.
Yeah, what's that, 10 and 2? Your hands always have to be there? You can't really do that.
You take this one to the driving test.
You just fail instantly.
And they're like, you're out. Get out of my face. I'll give a shout out as well to Jan Meet Bali for the super chat in there. Thank you, guys. Appreciate all the support here on Lou Later. You know, we love doing it. We love having you, especially when it's live every so often. It's an extra feeling to it. There's an extra piece to it. So they went with the yoke. The yoke is in there. I like the look of it. I think this whole spaceship vibe is something cool. Another thing that he mentioned in there was around charge speeds. He said, we got a USB-C charger and they're 36 watts. I was like, oh, cool. It was kind of our territory there. Talking about a couple of watts. He said, you could even charge your laptop, some laptops. They talked about how they maneuvered certain things inside to get more legroom in the backseat. In fact, he went so far to say, this is a real backseat now. Almost taking a shot at the previous generation. He's like, no, we got a real we got a real backseat right now.
Was it really that tight?
I don't remember. I don't think so. No, it wasn't that tight, but I guess as far as like luxury sedans are concerned, you got the likes of the EQS existing now. Do you remember that backseat?
Yeah.
That was a back seat. So Tesla also claimed that this model is the #1 world's best drag coefficient for a production car. That was a big deal. Another thing that they spent some time on, that like, man, the engineers went to work, and it's slight tweaking to that. They talked a little bit about the audio system, which you've highlighted over here, 920 watts, 22 speakers. He kept saying like entertainment is a big consideration in here. It's about being able to watch a movie, play games. Maybe you're at a supercharger, or maybe you're just having to wait. Like, can you think of a better car where you have to wait for somebody than this? Like, if you're spending a lot of time, imagine you're like a DoorDash driver.
Yeah.
And you have this car. I mean, that seems obscene. But like, probably actually it's not a good idea because you're doing a lot of miles. Anyway, just imagine that you're waiting at all these different pickup spots and you got that level of entertainment on the inside.
Yeah, you just stay there.
But everybody has had the experience of waiting for somebody and wishing they had a little more entertainment.
Or just waiting for your car to charge.
Yeah, at the supercharger. Yeah. That's the most common as far as electric cars are concerned. But you could be, I don't know, having a snack on a road trip and all of a sudden you pull the movie up.
Sure.
They have a 17-inch display. It's beyond 1080p. It's backed by PlayStation 5-like performance. They tightened up the UI. It's just looking a lot more modern. It's got the dual wireless phone chargers down in the bottom. You have the display in the back of the car for the passengers, which you can map to the same thing that the front display is seeing, so everybody can catch a decent view. They now have a sort of a digital input for something they're calling invisible AC, so you can simply touch the display in order to maneuver the direction of the vents.
You don't see the vents.
You don't see them.
Yeah,
it feels like a diffuse kind of cooling that's going on. You see the charging in the back as well for the rear occupants. Let's talk about range. So some people had hoped that there was going to be a big range improvement or boost from what was originally mentioned because Tesla canceled the Plaid Plus, which was slated to do above 500 miles. It was very exciting for EV fans. It didn't turn out that way. The Plaid is still listed at 390 miles, and the long range, rather than reaching the 420 that some people had been looking for, 405 is the list here on the EPA estimate. I don't know. I mean, once people get their hands on it, they're going to probably find out what the real world range is, but that's what they're listing for the time being. Now, the Plaid, as you've seen, it's more about performance, or the performance is a big aspect of it. And we recently had the Jay Leno confirmation. And then you had Elon basically saying during the presentation that what you have here is the world's fastest or quickest, I think he said fastest, but probably should have said quickest, production car. And it has 4 doors, and it can drive itself, and it has a gaming PC in it. So that's a pretty decent package as far as I'm concerned.
Yes. I think what he said was really interesting is the fact that, you know, your smartphone are your keys. You kind of just go near it, and then the door automatically opens, the car turns on, and then you're ready to drive. Actually,
building on that, the fact that you have no stock to select reverse or drive, that kind of is in line with what you just mentioned. The whole idea here being that user input is an error or a problem.
Right.
I don't know what terminology he used exactly, but everywhere where you can avoid an input and have the car decide for you, that they wanted to do that. And so when you sit inside, based on your past history and a variety of other data, the car is going to know if you need to reverse or move forward. It's called auto shift. Thank you to somebody in the chat there. Some people are nervous about that. They're like, man, I don't know. This thing trusts that it's in reverse. And you can come barging through the back wall over there, Will.
Like the Kool-Aid man.
Or also, if you get used to it, and then you go drive some other car, and you're like,
I know, yeah.
You've reprogrammed yourself to, it's going to feel like such a nuisance to go into some old-fashioned car and have to select which drive mode you want to be in. So I don't know. He seems really confident in the fact that this one is going to, that this feature is going to be something that people just get used to and that people are going to come to expect. So anyway, I ordered one of these. I don't know what the status is. I didn't receive an email or anything yet, but a number of users were at this particular delivery event and they got their cars. So they are beginning to ship out finally. Seemed like it wasn't going to happen. So that's exciting. But yeah, as far as events go, I don't think that you can have the same expectation around delivery events that you can have around product launch events. Some people wanted a Cybertruck update. That didn't happen. It's starting to look like Cybertruck is getting pushed a little bit. We might be looking into 2022 by the looks of it. Yeah. Maybe even towards the end of 2022. It takes time to build cars, and there's a lot of Model Y focus going on right now.
Sure.
But either way, I think this is exciting. I think if you look at the specs, I know that it's not a massive overhaul, and it's mostly in the interior, but this was desperately needed for their flagship vehicle. And it was important for them right now at a time when you have the likes of the EQS and the Taycan Turbo S. And this category actually for them has just, the competitiveness has increased massively in the last year. So something had to happen. Something did happen. I'm excited to actually check it out.